Hello everyone, and welcome back to look at some more about angles. Now today we're going to look more at the year 5 stuff about angles. We've looked at some of the year 4 stuff, which has given us a good basis. Now we're going to move on, and we've recapped acute, obtuse and right angles. So looking at these ones, which I put labels on, what do you know about these three angles? What makes them acute, obtuse and right angles? Well, hopefully you remember that acute angles are less than 90 degrees. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees, makes this L shape here, and when we mark a right angle, we do it with this square, whereas the others we do with this curved line. And finally, obtuse angles are this one, between 90 and 180 degrees. 180 degrees is if it goes a straight line all the way around, like a half turn. Now there is one other type of angle. Do you remember what it is? It's a reflex angle. The reflex angle is the other angle, the one that goes around the outside here. So the very, very big one for the acute, and the one that's still bigger than the obtuse one. A reflex angle is any angle that is larger than 180 degrees. And if you add the reflex angle to the other angles there, or the angles, if there's more than one of them, then you should get 360 degrees, which is the whole turn of a circle. You might know this sometimes when people say spinning 360 or something, meaning they've turned around in a complete loop. So, can you name these angles? I'd like you to pause the video and write these down, writing the name or the letter, the name of the thing, and next to what type of angle you think it is. Once you've done it, come back here and we'll look at it. So A, over here, is the reflex angle because it goes outside. The bit inside would be obtuse. B is an acute angle, it's a very thin one. C is also an acute one, not quite the same as this one though. D, remember what we said about drawing that square? That means D is a right angle. It's like the L from before, but it's been turned slightly. E, over here, that goes around the outside, so that's a reflex. F, also around the outside, that makes it a reflex. G is on the inside, but it's more than an L shape, so that makes it an obtuse angle. And H is less than the right angle, that makes it an acute angle. So if you want to compare the angles, what knowledge would we need to use? If we order the angles, what type is smallest? Well, acute angles are the smallest. They're less than 90 degrees. Then right angles. Then the obtuse angles. And then finally, the reflex angles. So in this case, we know the acute angles. They were H, C, and B. So which one is the thinnest? Well, for me, B is the thinnest. C and H, it's really difficult to see on the screen. What's better is if you can print this off, and I'm going to attach the document to the blog post. So if you have a chance to print it, I would definitely do it. Cut them out and actually put them over each other and see which one is wider. We will come back to looking at how you can measure these with a protractor in future lessons. But these are the thinnest. I would say probably the thinnest, second thinnest, third thinnest. So B, C, H. Then we've got the right angle here. Then we've got G, the obtuse angle. And then we've got all of these reflex angles, and this is really tough. I have a feeling that A and E are really, really close to each other. I wouldn't like to say which one is bigger. If I was pushed, I might say E is maybe slightly smaller than A, so E and then A, and then F is the biggest one. F nearly goes all the way around. I would say maybe 300 degrees. Don't worry too much about degrees. We're going to look at that in future. But what I want to do is I want to see if we can describe these angles using this speaking frame. So the acute angles, they're less than 90 degrees. So B, this angle is an acute angle because it is less than 90 degrees. I'd like you to write that next to the work you've already done. So if you wrote that B equals acute, I'd like you to write it out in a full sentence. So B is an acute angle because it is less than 90 degrees. An acute angle is smaller than a right angle because it's less than 90 degrees. Does this make sense? Try and write one of these down to each of these. When you're done with that, here's what's going to be your turn to do independently. We need to answer these two questions over here, and then try and do this one. Again, if possible, use a speaking frame. It'll help you out. Name both the angles marked, and explain what you notice about the pairs of the angles, using the correct names to describe them. Good luck, and let me know how you get on.